now we are moving on to our second section of this topic. We are going to speak about market strategy, product market strategy, and direction of growth. Okay, so product market strategies involve determining which products should be sold in which markets, by market penetration, market development, product development, and diversification. So, we are going to learn something, another matrix, which is about, we call it, old product, old market, or old product, new market. And then new product, old market, or new product, new market. New product, new market is very risky area. Old product, old market, which means that whatever you are doing, you are just expanding your market size. You are offering the same product, old product, into the old market. So that is actually a penetration strategy. We call it market penetration. Market penetration means that when you want everyone to be your customer, when you're going deep into the market. A very wonderful example of market penetration is Coca-Cola. Whether you are earning $500 or you are earning $5,000 or you are earning $50,000, everyone is drinking the same Coca-Cola for the same price, and everyone is getting. You cannot say Coca-Cola has kept their product at so much at penetration that it is, everyone gives money for that. They can't say that this is my customer, this is not my customer. Like if you talk about cars, BMW, Mercedes, or Porsche, they do have a target market. But for Coca-Cola, there is no target market. Everybody is drinking, whether you are 12 years age or you are 60 years age. Yeah, there are some health considerations have changed over the period. People have started thinking about, oh, that's, fizzy drink, maybe a lot of sugar, not healthy. So that's another competition or threats which they are getting, but still everybody uses that. So they have penetrated into the market, Coca-Cola. Everybody is the customer. Market development, when you have the old product and you go into the new market. So you are working in one particular geographical market and you move to another one. So that is called, you are not developing the product, okay? Product is same, but market is new. This is the second option. Third, you call it product development. Product development means new product and old market. So market, your target market, target customers, whatever, that's the same thing, but you just bring a new product. Like they introduced Coke Zero. So Coke Zero was a new product in the old market or the same market, like many, many years ago. Or probably if Coca-Cola brings another new product, maybe something different, but for the same market. So that would be called product development, new product, old market. The last one is called diversification, when you are entering into a new market with a new product. And when I say market, in some cases, I'm referring to a new geographical region, a new country. And in some cases, I'm referring to a different target audience, okay? Maybe in the same country, but before you were making, for example, if you think about Red Bull. So Red Bull is a drink for young people. I think that mostly Red Bull, their 70–80% of their customers are between age 18 to 30. That's their market. But if they bring in some fresh juices, imagine Red Bull is coming with some fresh juices. So probably they are, now that's a new market. They are giving it for probably elder people, or maybe they come up with something which is for, diabetic people. So they're entering into a new market. So you imagine a Red Bull for diabetic people. So that's a new product. And that is a new market because the customers are different, diabetic. So we call it a new market. So new market not necessarily means that you are geographically going out, maybe geographically within the same region, but your target audience changes. So it's about in relation to target audience. So 4 options you see, like, your direction of growth. We are growing. So you have to grow. So you have to choose in which direction you want to go or you want to grow. Old product, old market, old product, new market, new product, new product, old market, or new product, new market. So 4 options, possibly. I don't see a fifth one. We put it here, and this is called your Ansoff model. So Ansoff model, it drew up a growth factor mix describing how a combination of a firm's activities in current and new markets with existing and new products can lead to growth. Markets existing and new, you have here markets existing, markets new, and products existing and products new. So this one is called market penetration, existing market, existing product. Probably if you consider that with this iPhone watch, when they introduced iPhone watch, and they didn't call it iPhone watch, they call it actually Apple Watch. Everything is like iPad, iPhone, ipad, iPod, but watch is the only thing which is Apple Watch. So Apple Watch was actually what? Apple Watch was, can you give me an example? Tell me which, where does it lie, Apple Watch? Is it new product, old market, old product, new market? What is that? It's new product and old market. So product is new, like here, and market is existing, like here. So I see Apple Watch here, okay? Apple Watch is here. The same customers, I mean, I'm using iPhone, I might be interested in I have to get my Apple Watch to connect my iPhone with that. So audience is same, target audience is same. You've got, they have sold over 1 billion iPhones, over 1 billion iPhones. But of course, not all of them are in service. Maybe some people have maybe more than one. So I think that at least there are 500 million users of iPhone. If there are 500 million of users of iPhone, there is a potential 500 million Apple Watch market. I mean, if I connect these two products in such an interesting way that everybody who is holding an iPhone should also get an Apple Watch, and if they get it, they get some additional or whatever, some connectivities issues and etc. Everybody will buy it. So product is new, market is old. Then you call it this market development, in which product is existing, the same product, but market is new. And then probably diversification here. And we are going to spend a lot of time on diversification. The last section or last session of this chapter is going to be about diversification. Market penetration means increasing your market share of existing products via promotions, price reductions, increasing usage, etc. You are focusing in the same market with the same product, just like Coca-Cola is doing. I mean, I know that if you buy a 2 liters bottle of Coca-Cola and you also buy a 2 liters this bottled water by Nestle or some other good brand, there is only 10-20% price difference, very little difference. Coca-Cola has almost come down to the price of plain water. It represents a relatively low risk strategy since it requires no capital investment. As such, it is attractive to the unadventurous type of organization. And by the way, we always spoke about the importance of innovation. Innovation is good, but in some areas, innovation is not good, like Coca-Cola. It is only sold because you get the same taste and the same feeling when you drink it. I remember that in late 80s or mid 80s, Coca-Cola made two strategic mistakes. Here, one will come with the culture, another will come with the product. And Coca-Cola was also a victim of that marketing campaign, which later became illegal. So Coca-Cola has a lot of business cases. One thing was that they tried to change the taste of Coca-Cola. And they made some experimentation. They brought some new taste. They said that we are going to introduce different tastes for Coca-Cola. Multiple variants of Coca-Cola you can consider. And it failed because nobody wants a change in Coca-Cola. I drink Coca-Cola every day and I want it to be same. I don't want another Coca-Cola. Whatever it is, I like it. You cannot do experimentation with that. And the same thing happens with cigarettes. You don't do with something with cigarettes, the same thing. You don't need innovation in cigarettes, okay? You can make a different packing. You can make a smarter packing. Like Coca-Cola, you can change packing. You bring it in 300 ml, 250 ml, 500 ml, 1 liter, 2 liters, 2.5 liters, whatever, but don't touch the product. One mistake by Coca-Cola. Innovation is not needed here. The second mistake Coke did, that was a very, how to say, ridiculous thing. They started calling it Coke, C-O-K-E, and they started even printing it on bottles, Coke. And this is, I think, again, late 80s. And it became very popular. Oh, Coke, Coke. A short name, because people were saying Coca-Cola, long name. Pepsi was a shorter name. Name has to be something which can be spoken very easily or very shortly or briefly. Okay. Longer names are not really very smart names, but Coca-Cola was a longer name. Pepsi comes out very easy. Okay. Pepsi. So they start calling it Coke. And actually they brand it like Coke. People were already, I mean, they brand it like Coke. And then in the entire North America, Coke means cocaine. And it was culturally hit very bad, because you are giving a product a name, that name itself uh, is not very much welcomed. Cocaine. Coke means cocaine. Okay. So just like when you say medicines, and you also have the word drugs. So drug is actually medicine, but in many times drugs means narcotics or something. So when you say, did you take your medicine? Or I'm taking medicines. I'm taking medicines, it's perfectly fine. But if I say I'm taking drugs, that sometimes can convey a different message in different cultures. So anyways, market penetration, you are not taking any risks. You are have the same product in the same market. You make advertisement, you do promotions, you do distribution channels, etc. And you try to grow. These all are your growth strategies. Okay. We are talking about growth. How do you grow? You need to do something to grow. Need to do something to grow. Um, you know, my sales team, they come in and I say that, how much are you, what is your budget? What was your sales budget this year? Sales budget this year was 10 million. How much is the sales budget for the next year? For the next year, sales budget is 12 million. We are going to grow 20%. Oh, that sounds very interesting. You want to grow 20%. So what are your plans? How are you going to grow 20% more? We will work very hard. So you will work very hard. So if you think or you believe that by working hard, you can grow 20%, then why did you not work very hard last year? Then you should have worked hard last year and you should have done 12 million last year as well. So you cannot come up and say that I want to grow because I will work hard. You need to have some concrete plan with you. So growth strategies, they tell you that you want to grow. How are you going to grow? In which area are you going to grow? So are you going to grow through market penetration, which means existing product and with this thing? Or do you want to grow with market development, which means that the same product, but in the new market? The new market could be, like I said, target audience based, or it could be geographically. Exporting and selling in new markets, making new distribution networks, and going and touching those areas which you were not touching before. Um, then you have product development. Product development is selling new products to existing customers, which we also called cross-selling. One of that thing example was, perfect example was Apple Watch, or probably iPods. iPods, you use them with the same devices. You make cross-selling, you do. Cross-selling means that when you sell a new product to your existing customer, you call it cross-selling. I mean, in a very typical way, somebody comes to your showroom and says, I want to buy a television. So you give them television and then you say, I've got these very smart home theater speakers as well. Do you want to connect these speakers with your television? Or maybe I've got a DVD player. Now, DVD players are not there now, but back then at the time when people were buying television, everybody was saying buy the DVD also. Or you buy a computer and they say we've got a printer as well, or we've got a scanner as well, or we've got a UPS as well. So cross-selling means a new product. So when you are selling it, The word cross-selling is there. Here we are talking about developing a new product, okay? Like I gave example, Apple Watch. And diversification. Selling new products to new customers may offer significant growth potential, but it is risky because you are leaving the market, you are going to test a new market. Listen. Businesses, they spend huge money on market research. Before you start a new product, whether you are doing market penetration development, product development, whatever you do, you need to do market research. And through market research, you try to understand the market, understand competitors, understand products, and understand the customer, and understand the consumer behavior. So you spend a lot on that. But you know what? Still, many times businesses they fail. Uh, it's very hard to predict what will click and what will not click. Even I think that one of the iPhone models, iPhone 7 or iPhone 8, it just failed in the market. It was not really very successful. 5 was very successful, 6 was very successful, 7 wasn't, and then immediately came up with a new one. And the same happens with Samsung phones. The same happens with cars, even Toyota or Nissan. Not all of their cars they become equally popular. Not all of the models they become equally popular. Sometimes the shape is not appreciated by the market. Sometimes the other features are not appreciated in the market. So it is always a new challenge whenever you bring in a new product. And especially if you take the new product to the new market in which consumer behavior is not tested by yourself, it's always a chance. So it involves huge risks, and it may require significant investment and new competencies because you need to learn new things. It's not only about having money; it's about how do you manage things. Okay, very important thing. Do you have the management skills or not? I give you an example. I take a small country. I take a small country like Georgia, or I take a small country like let's call it Bulgaria. They have 9% unemployment rate. They want to decrease the unemployment rate. Government can, people need jobs. What what people say, start new businesses. Let's suppose as government, you allocate $10 billion. With $10 billion, what you can do, 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, you can start 100 factories. Now, 100 million factory, 100 million production unit will have, can occupy something like 400 500 people directly, and then 2000 people indirectly. So when you make an investment of 100 million, you can immediately hire 400 to 500 people direct on job, and then the suppliers and raw materials and supply chain, 2000 more people get employed. So a lot of people can get jobs. So does Bulgarian government has 10 billion? Probably yes. Can they start it? Maybe no, because they don't have the management skills. Even if you start 100 new factories, do you've got so much production staff? Do you've got so many competent managers who will run them successfully? uh, we've got all the competencies which are needed there, the infrastructure which is required. So it's not only about investment. What is very important in business is about competency. So don't think that you can do everything. You are very successful in one business, and you try to enter into a new business and you fail. You made a very fantastic hotel. So some business, you are into one business of construction, and you say, you know what, I want to go and enter into hospitality business. I want to make a five-star hotel. Guys, you've been a construction business, you have been working with blue collar people. Your managers have been very rude and very crude while talking to the blue collar construction workers, and you are now thinking of making a five-star hotel with a with a culture of delicacy and a culture of hospitality. You will fail it. You don't have that organizational culture of spirit of that creating that hospitality thing. You cannot enter into that. Competencies are not there. Okay, I'll find another team. You'll find another team. And you'll find a very good team, by the way. You will find the best team for that five-star hotel business. You know, they will fail. There is a possibility, big possibility they will fail. And you know who would be the reason for failing that? You yourself as a shareholder, because you will hire the managers, and then you will, because you have been tuned, you have a different thing. The shareholder, you have been involved into the business plan, like we said, divorce of ownership and management. Somehow, if you will be engaged, you will be the first one to create the hurdles and create problems for that management team, which is trying to make your hotel very good. A lot of times I have seen that managers, uh, they are not at so much fault as much as the shareholders they come in small and medium size enterprises. In medium size enterprises, which I consider up to $500 million of investment, I mean, I've seen shareholders bothering and creating problems. So, competencies do you have or not? Diversity of products and markets. So, in the past, it was not uncommon for organizations to produce and sell one type of product to customer operating in the organization's home market. So, one type of product in your own local market, but now diversity is coming up, which means that businesses, like if you think about Samsung, the product range which Samsung was offering 20 years ago and what they are doing today is way different. I mean, I just say Samsung is a company which makes washing machines. This is how I know them. Okay, maybe they make televisions. I never thought Samsung would make a smartphone, but now they are expanding. So diversity of products and diversity of market is happening over the last 20 years. Now businesses, now I'm sure that you guys have heard, I don't think if it is confirmed or not, but Apple is bringing car in 2023, electric car in competition with Tesla. Imagine a car coming in with an apple with half bite on that. Apple car. Apple car is coming. So how would you imagine that a company which was making, computers competing with Compaq, then competing with Microsoft, then entered into a phone market, entered into cloud computing, and now doing cars, car manufacturing. Diversity is coming in, which we say new products and new markets. And now that would be a very big venture. That would be a really big venture for Apple if they come in. And I think that they've already started working. It's not a fake news. Apple Car is on its way. And that definitely is a risky, a risky decision. We don't know. They were very good in all those things which they did in past. What they're going to do with Apple Car, it still has to be seen. We start with the need for diversification. Probably, I don't know. We'll have to buy the engine separately by Apple Car. I don't have much information about that. I just read it somewhere. Okay, Adam, Mikhail, can you guys listen me?
Yes, sir.
I think that we should stop it here because this diversification is a topic which